Hello and welcome everyone to our newest edition of the CESI Talks. My name is Mateusz van Riewski. I'm the CESI Youth Representative, which is the youth organization of CESI, the European Independent Trade Union Organization. And today with me is Mihai Palimariucic, and he's policy analyst at the European Policy Center, the EPC. Great to have you here with us today, and that you have some time to speak a little bit with us about the future of work, basically. We as CESI are a partner of the European Parliament, and together with the European Parliament, we're running the project so-called We EP, We European Parliament. This is a project which is trying to bring the work of the European Union, but especially of the European Parliament and its work closer to us, basically to the Europeans, and also especially to our own members who are workers. So let's get straight to the interview. Mihai, you are a policy analyst at the EPC, and so far I know you're focusing on the future of work. So for a progressive agenda for the future of work, what do you think? What should be included to be successful for it?
Yeah. Thank you for the question and for the invitation. I'll be very short. A successful agenda for the future of work needs to rest on two pillars. First, it needs to empower workers to help them adapt to new labor realities that were brought by green, digital transformations, demographic changes, and globalization. And it needs to create an inclusive but competitive labor market. And it can do so by bringing more people into the labor market, vulnerable people, but also equipping the workforce with the right skills and helping people transition into high quality, high skilled jobs. At the same time, these labor transformations have been slowly eroding some of the regulatory and the institutional frameworks that govern the working relationships. And for future work to be inclusive and to be fair, it needs to build that up. It needs to rebuild the social contract, and it needs to do so by covering the gaps in social protection, especially when we're talking to self-employed people, and now with new forms of work such as platform work.
Very interesting. Okay, so this is what you believe as EPC could be successful. And can you tell us maybe what does the EU and particularly the European Parliament already do to have kind of a successful implementation for the agenda?
Yeah, both are doing quite a lot. It's important to mention, however, that the European Union does not have direct competences in education and skills. But it does play a crucial support role. So let's say in terms of skills and digital skills, the European Commission has pushed a lot lately for programs which aimed to have skills formation. And here, looking at the European Pillar of Social Rights Action Plan, it's important to say that the target of at least 60% of adults participating in training is crucial for the future of work and for a competitive labor market. Even more important is the amount of funds that have been made available for these programs. Just mentioning the European Social Fund, but also the Recovery and Resilience. And it's important how the Commission is trying to nudge member states to use them. And now, talking about funds, this is where the role of the Parliament becomes apparent, because at the negotiation table, the Parliament pushed to increase the budget for programs such as Erasmus, but also Digital Europe, which supports advanced digital skills formation. So this is in the areas of skills and creating a competitive labor market. But in other areas, the European Commission can actually, and the European Parliament can actually do quite a lot. And we see that in covering gaps in social protection with the upcoming initiative for platform work.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So we can see that there's already some progress from the institutions. They're really looking forward. I mean, we can all observe how much the labor market is changing in the last years. And honestly, for me, it's a bit also scary to look at this because it's really a fast change, a very rapid. And since a few years we have the so-called like the gig economy, which a lot of us are using, all the platform workers that work that is offered. But I mean, thinking about the platform workers itself, for example, the people who deliver our food or who are carrying us around, what do you think? What can be done for the platform workers, and what could they expect from the European Union in the future?
Yeah, it is still too early in the process to tell what workers should expect. Recently, the second consultation document was just released, and in there we get a glimpse of what are some of the possibilities. And what we saw is that the Commission outlines several key topic issues, and one of them, perhaps the most hot debated, hot topic one, is the misclassification issue, where workers are classified as self-employed, even though they could be classified as employees. And what we see is that the Commission proposed several avenues, where all of them trying to rebalance a bit the burden of proving the employment status and the employment relationship from the worker to the platform. Now, in all of these cases, what it means is that more platform workers will be classified as employees, which will allow them to have access to the same rights enjoyed by most of the labor market. However, even for those that will not be classified as employees, because a good number of platform workers will not, there the Commission also set some ways forward to push for new rights regarding algorithmic management. Just one example is portability of ratings between platforms. But these are just, right now, it's all in the realm of possibility. But there will be changes that will impact workers quite profoundly.
Okay, interesting. So something is really happening. We see it's great to hear also for them. Okay, I see. I mean, looking at the time, we're already basically at the end of our short introduction to the future of work and what we can a little bit of expect and what's happening in the European institutions. Dear Mihai, thank you very much for your time and your participation. Keep up this good work at the EPC. And as you say in Romanian, mulțumesc, I think, something like that.
Yeah, cu plăcere. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, we're very welcome. Have a great day.
Have a great day.